Get your stinking paws off my franchise, you damn dirty Tim Burton. Planet of the Apes is back with a terrific return with Rise of the Planet of the Apes this weekend. My name is Devin Feraci. I'm from Badass Digest. This is Amy Nicholson from Box Office Magazine, and we're stupid for movies. Well, this weekend it's Rise of the Planet of the Apes in theaters.
It's true, and you just started off with some fighting words about Tim Burton.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Tim Burton, you think he's going to hold this franchise back from people wanting to see it?
You know what? It's weird because I think that Tim's Planet of the Apes, which is so terrible and has Marky Mark, awful nonsense, I feel like people forgot about it. It's just it doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, it's sort of a non-entity, but I do feel like it left this intangible funk over the franchise that I'm really hoping that this one is able to break through and get people to come see it again. Because as we have yet to say, the movie's awesome.
I loved it. I mean, I'm a hardcore Apes fan. This is mine. This is Caesar from Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Caesar is also the star of the new film Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is sort of a reboot of Conquest, which was the fourth film in the original Ape series. It's very complicated, but this movie's not complicated. It's pretty great. Basically, what happens here in Rise of the Planet of the Apes is that Caesar is a chimpanzee whose mother has been injected with an Alzheimer's curing medicine virus.
It's a virus. It's
a medicinal virus
that gives you green eyes and an ability to do logic problems.
Exactly, and Caesar's a really smart ape, and Caesar is raised by James Franco to be a smart ape. But however, eventually his wild side comes out a little bit, and Caesar ends up in sort of an ape prison. It's Apecatraz.
Apecatraz. Wow, Escape from Apecatraz. I wish that was like the colon after the title. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Escape from Apecatraz, if it wasn't long enough already.
And then he becomes sort of an ape Spartacus, and he leads these guys to freedom.
He becomes very much an ape Spartacus. He would become, I would say, like an ape Stalin, almost.
That's harsh.
Oh, that is harsh.
That is harsh.
That's for the sequel. That's for the sequel.
That is. As they begin subjugating humans. But so are you an apes person? Or is this like your franchise?
I am an apes person, but I don't think I've ever been a wholeheartedly sincere person when it comes to the apes. I love them for...
As opposed to being sincere about other things.
Yeah, I love them because I love to sort of laugh at Charlton Heston in the Apes films, and I as much as I adore that film, the first one, and I've probably seen it like 8 times, you know, his girlfriend can't act, although she looks great in a bikini. I don't ever watch it and expect to feel like emotionally connected to the film, but this Apes I adored. I almost cried at a couple points of it, but that's because I'm a gigantic softie.
What was it that got you?
There
You're
is something.
Spoiling, obviously.
Yeah, the apes kind of take over at the end. I hope that's not like, is that a shocker? Do I need to talk up?
I was going to say, play the clip if you want. We have a clip.
Oh yeah, but by the way, if you want to see some apes like kick ass, we can do that right now. Let's show a clip.
Len?
Hey, watch the thing! Good job!
Monkey mayhem.
Kind of kick ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to rally. Wait, before we go on, I need to tell you guys something really important about Devin Feraci that may or may not color his take on this movie, which is you're getting a tattoo.
I am getting a tattoo.
You should tell people what it is because it's going to be permanent and on your body.
I'm going to get a tattoo in the Planet of the Apes title font that says "Ape shall never kill ape," which is the guiding law of the Ape Society in the Planet of the Apes films. I'm gonna be getting that. I've been a huge Planet of the Apes fan ever since I was a kid. So I kind of came into Rise expecting to be really critical because this is my favorite series. It's sort of a remake of my favorite film in my favorite series. But I think this movie really just nails it. I think it knocks it out of the park. And I think it knocks it out of the park because it's a movie about characters. It isn't just about like apes going crazy, which is what we just saw, but it's about apes as characters.
You're right. I mean, absolutely. Like, there's a, I was going to say human. I guess I'll just say primate heart that really pulls the whole franchise through. Like, you, compared to every blockbuster I've seen this summer, this is one with an actual emotional hook. I know we disagree on Captain America, and you thought there was a real love story there.
Terrific movie.
It's bananas compared to whatever the love story is here. Not the one between James Franco
Bananas. That was really the pun that you just used for the Planet of the Apes movie.
Didn't I? Oh, wow. Just lock me in a cage and throw away the key.
I'm flinging poop at that one. So.
Oh, God. You probably will.
I will.
Yeah. But no, we should talk about the man who makes this movie worthwhile. And that is James Franco. No, I'm kidding. It's Andy Serkis. Let's talk about Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis, there's already some talk on Twitter about can he even get an Oscar nomination for this?
The Hollywood Reporter actually had an article about is this maybe, because there was talk already about Serkis getting an Oscar nomination for Lord of the Rings when he was Gollum. And he was terrific, and the mocap stuff, the performance capture stuff was so new then that it was kind of hard for the Academy to put their head around it. I guess the actor branch isn't fond of this stuff because they feel like it's a gimmick on top of their performances, but I think he's so incredible in this.
I mean, the thing is, when you watch Andy Serkis in this movie, what you're looking at isn't necessarily the fur. You're looking at the eyes of an animal. You really feel like there's a person behind the pixels. I mean, there's a scene in it, and it's a small one, and it's one of my favorite things. But it's when Caesar is becoming a teenager, and he's still living with James Franco. He goes to play in the forest, and there's a scene where he's up in a tree looking down at James Franco and his girlfriend, Frida Pinto. And it's like 2 seconds, but you just see this look in Andy Serkis / Caesar's eyes that tells you everything about the fact that he's frustrated that he has no people of his own who look like him.
And he's frustrated that Frida Pinto is so bad in this movie.
Oh, well, she's bad in every movie.
How terrible is she in this movie? I mean, it's really ridiculous that the movie, I like this movie a lot. All of the best performances are apes. The humans are useless in this movie.
There's an orangutan who acts circles around her. But she's better here than she is in everything else, and that is not saying anything, except for the fact that everything else she's done is terrible. Like Miral, did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Oh, dear God. Oh, she plays a terrorist. You just don't know. You don't even want to go there. You don't even want to go there. However, there's one person who stands out, John Lithgow.
I think even John Lithgow gets like significantly outacted by Andy. Here's the thing, like it's like John Lithgow plays the dad who has Alzheimer's, and it's a character that we've seen in so many movies that there is while there's a touching aspect in the way that Caesar interacts with him, it's also just I feel like all these Alzheimer's characters get silly after a while. I feel like there's just something goofy about the way that they're played. I don't know. I'm probably going to get Alzheimer's and regret ever, nitpicking this kind of stuff. But it always seems so goofy.
Well, I've seen you after a few drinks, and you seem like you have Alzheimer's.
I know. I'm highly forgetful and sometimes pee myself.
Oh God. Let's change the subject. Okay. So let's talk about the different apes, because what's interesting about this is you see chimpanzees mainly in the teaser promos, but when you get to the actual film, you have a gorilla who I thought was fantastic.
Buck the gorilla.
Oh, you know his family name.
Well, it's on his cage.
Oh.
I pay attention to the movies, Amy. What are you doing while you're there?
Oh, I was just flinging things at the screen and eating bananas. No, the range of primates that they're able to capture through CGI and through their different motions, because a gorilla moves so much differently than does an orangutan or does a chimpanzee, and you have actors in all of these roles, like really physically embodying them. Like I felt like all them animals just rang true to me. Even when you see them in pain or angry, they're breathing through their nostrils. They're at once like their emotions are recognizable without ever falling into talking cat territory.
Well, I was lucky enough to be on the set of the movie, and I watched them sort of doing this, and they had this whole group of actors who spent a lot of time really getting into the idea of what apes would move like and what their emotional responses would be. They had this guy, Terry Notary, who was their movement coach, who actually, if you saw playing in limited release right now, Attack the Block, Terry Notary plays the monster.
He does?
Yeah.
Wow, he's really good at being on all fours.
He really is, right? So, but he brought that tickled these guys. Your double entendre about Terry.
I don't think she meant to do it, though.
I
Is that what it
did, but I
is?
didn't think anyone would catch it. Oh, all right.
All right, moving on from the doggy style onto the apey style. I think that they really do capture it. And I think it's what's kind of great is that you're watching a movie and we're smart enough to know that these are not real apes. But I know, but the performance bridges it. You don't really care that it's CGI over an actor. You're just connecting with the actor, I think.
Well, I have a question for you as a devotee of the franchise. having this guy, say, in the original series, or having like Zaius or Cornelia in the first film, do you miss having a human inside the ape? Like having a visible one?
You know, it's funny because as a fan of the original franchise, the first movie, they did it so different back then. The first movie was a big hit, and then so what the studio decided to do was they halved the budget the next time, and they just kept halving the budget, which is not how they do it now. Now they, Transformers 3 cost 9 times the cost of any small nation. But they kept having the budget, so by the fifth one, you really got to a point where they were just people like in Halloween masks. Yeah. So I don't miss that necessarily. I think as long as the character works, the character works.
By the way, I just got this image of a monkey wearing a Michael Myers mask.
Well, it's half like that.
It was truly scary.
There's some in the fifth one. There's some there. They have like a big ape caucus, and if you look at some of the masks, it is just a guy with like no eyes, just this ridiculous ape mask with his mouth wide open. Really, really cheap, shitty stuff. So I don't really miss that. I mean. The thing about Rise of the Planet of the Apes versus the original Planet of the Apes series is there's a weird silliness to the original Planet of the Apes series. They really are earnest and odd, and they're all about race relations and stuff like that. That's sort of missing from this one. This one isn't that silly, but I don't know. I think it couldn't have been that silly. I think that's what people were worried about in advance, that it seemed like it was too silly.
It's true. So. I feel like it's very straightforwardly about what it is, which is animal rights.
Right.
I don't feel like there's a hidden metaphor, and I feel like people can probably try to fight and find a hidden metaphor, but I don't think it's there. And I mean, one thing that I did think the film did well, though, is for, obsessives of the original, like you, and I suppose like me, they lace in tiny little jokes about the original that if you're watching, they just keep popping up. Like you see the debut of the Icarus, the ship that Charlton Heston takes off. That's like referenced twice in the film. You see Caesar clutching like a little Statue of Liberty. You walk into the room and the guy is like watching the Ten Commandments on TV. Like it's all sort of there. These little winks that the film is not entirely taking itself seriously, but yet it is.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's even deeper ones. Draco Malfoy's in the movie. Tom Felton is his name.
Yeah.
His character's name is Dodge, and Dodge is one of the original astronauts in the first Planet of the Apes. The orangutan in this movie, his name is Maurice. Maurice Evans played Dr. Zaius.
And there was also a bonobo named Devin. Did you catch that?
No, but he probably was off humping someplace.
Yeah,
That's what bonobos do, right?
Up. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
So I think that what this boils down to is that we like this movie, right?
Yeah, I think hell yeah, we like this movie.
So I think this is your choice this weekend. Go see Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
You're both giving it a buy?
A buy?
I'm giving it a buy.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
giving it
a buy. Yeah, buy.
I'm actually going to see it again this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm going to pay money to see this, which
Me
I
too?
never do.
Oh. Well, I'm not, because I'm going to make somebody buy me a ticket, but that's cool for you.
That's because you're a girl. You get to do stuff like that.
I know. It's awesome. Yes, go see it.